Where's the computer? Okay. Happy Sunday, everyone. We are on and live. I'm going to share my screen with you now that we're started. Share. Okay. Maximize you. Send. Oh, let me back it up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so happy Sunday. I'm very excited for today's topic. It really hits home for me because after just getting my taxes done and going through all my finances, and I shared a few things with my team yesterday, like it blew my mind thinking back to how my first year went and just I was in the hole. Like at the end of the year, like you're going to be, and that's a normal thing when you're starting a business, you're not going to come out on top probably for a few years. But in putting a few years into this and seeing that I wasn't at, negative dollars, I was like up thousands of dollars. And I was just like going back to the vitals. These past 2 years is what has propelled my business forward and being crazy consistent. So I'm really excited to like dive deeper and talk about them. But before we do that, of course, we're going to do some recognition because it's only the beginning of the month and some of you girls are like on it and already changing lives, adding coaches to your team, and that's freaking amazing. So we're going to start with life changers. So I'm at the top of the board right now with Success Club 6, and Miss Sherry Ennis is at Success Club 4, Jennifer Price is at 4, and Sarah Hirsch, did I say that right? Is at Success Club 2. So you guys, it's just the beginning of the month. Like if your name is not here, do not freak out. There is so much time. It's like freaking ridiculous. Things can happen in a day or 2 days. So, but congrats to you ladies who freaking are crushing it so far. And I'll pass it to Sherry to do coaches added.
All right, big shout out. This month or this week, we're on the 9th. So we have 20 days left, guys. It's a leap year. So we have the 29th, kind of nerd out on that. We have my girl, Sarah, who is a brand new coach. She is just in her new coach mentorship. She is 1 week into it, and she has her first new coach. And I will shout out my girl, Sarah Spickler, who has 1 new coach this week. Great job to the Sarahs, 1H, 1 no H, for crushing it already by the 9th, guys. We have 20 more days. A lot of times, maybe you guys took massive action this week, and you're going to see the benefit of that in the next couple of weeks. So if your name's not up there, that does not mean that it will not be up there next week or the next time that we get together. All right, what's next, Sarah? Oh, we're jumping right into it. So Sarah, you and I did not talk about this. Do you want me to should we just start at the beginning and walk through?
Yeah, you know what? Well, I think it's perfect because so I didn't have any rank advancements. So I think that's why we didn't have any of our big recognitions. Yeah. So I just bumped this to the next thing. So I think it's perfect because both of the things you were going to talk about are first and I'm kind of next. So if that's good for you, is that okay?
All right, guys. So when I started, I had no idea what this business was about. I knew that my cousins had done it for a long time. I joined last January 5th. I've been watching my cousins build a business for about 5 years. And they were talking about this thing called Shakeology, thought it was a dumb name, Beachbody, okay. Like I had heard Fix and 21-day Fix and, oh, I can eat that on the Fix. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, like whatever. But they were talking about it. And so like they were kind of in my ear and I knew, I talked to my cousins for over 1.5 years, guys. If you have somebody who's asking you about coaching right now and you're trying to explain it to them, and maybe you're doing a great job of explaining it to them, but they're just not ready. Like it took me 1.5 years I kept going back to my cousin saying like, hey, but what about this? And hey, but what about this? And what about this? And I just wasn't ready to be all in on the products and the programs. So the very first vital behavior, this is why Beachbody has really like done their extensive research and just gone, what makes a successful coach? What does it take to win at this business? Raise your hand if you want to win at this business and want to succeed. Raise your hand if your first success step is Emerald. Okay. Raise your hand if your first success step is Diamond. Go Diamond. All right. I heard a Diamond date today, February 29th. So like, let's go, Audra. And we have big goals after that, right? Like our team is shooting for 10-star by 10/10/2020. Like that's going to take an enormous amount of effort. But before I jumped in, I had to make sure that I was ready to do all of these things. And I didn't know what all the things were, but I knew that I had to just commit and decide to be in. So guys, the business is right here. If you want to be successful, every successful coach does these 4 things. So this is one thing you can wake up every morning and be like, check, 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 check. I did all of these things. So be proof that the products work. Guys, I was just at an Aveda hair salon yesterday and I saw a girl with really beautiful hair in there. And I was like, oh, like it makes sense. Like I bet she uses the products and blah, blah, blah. Then another girl standing next to me had a little bit less pretty hair, but she was the stylist. But when the girl asked like, hey, what should I buy? She kind of said it in like a non-convincing way, but she was like, oh, I mean, you could get like this, or you could get like this product, but she wasn't like, oh my gosh, like this changed my hair. And like, I did this and I went from this to this. And like, I love this. And then you have to take these Aveda capsules and like, they do this for the whatever. And then you have this special water that you spray on. And like, the girl wasn't doing that and so I looked at her and I was kind of just observing, but I'm like, she doesn't really feel like proof of the product. Like if you're going to represent a brand or if you're going to represent programs and products, you need to know what they are and you need to fall in love with them. Those of you who are in the New Coach Mentorship, that was on the first part of it. One of the videos, it's like you need to fall in love with the programs. And it's not just Shakeology. Shakeology is part of that. We have Recover. If you've ever worked out with it and worked out without it, you would know the difference. But you need to try it. Tracy's nodding her head. You have to try it to know the difference. I can speak to that to my people because I've done it. I've worked out with it and I've worked out without it. I know the pain that, the soreness and all that stuff. Unicorn crack, you need to drink it. You need to know what it is. You need to show it in your stories. Like this stuff is delicious. It also helps me get 50 ounces of water, usually by noon. Okay, go-go juice, unicorn crack, parent punch, whatever it is, it's delicious. And caffeine doesn't affect me, so I'm gonna drink it late at night, so it's okay. Shakeology, guys, this is one of the revenue producing products in our business, drives volume. It's foundational to our nutrition. I started using that verbiage right when I started. So foundational to our nutrition. You need to go all in on it and get your own results. This is the whole point of being proof of the product. You need to go all in on Shakeology, not just have it 2 times a week, not just have it as a meal replacement. Go all in. It's a vitamin. It's a daily vitamin. So take it like you're going to take birth control. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I can think of when I think of like regularity. Take it at the same time every day. Tracy, thanks for laughing. Drink it every day. Drink it around the same time and track what's happening to your body. Track your energy. Track your pooping. Track your digestion. Track your bloated, track your cramping. Like I used to have a really crampy belly and swelly belly. And the other one is track your mood. So I know that if I go off of it for a few days or if I'm not consistent with it or if I'm like vacationing or whatever, like I can feel my mood go somewhere. But when I'm consistent with that, I don't know what's in it. I don't understand how the science works. I should dive further into that to know my products. But you need to commit to that for the 24 days. I see so many coaches come in and they're like, oh, I just had too much product. I'm like, how could you have too much? Like there's 24 and there's 30 days in the month. Do your Shakeology. Complete a fitness program, start to finish. I don't care which one. Pick one. Pick one that you like. Go in and find one. If you like Shaun T, go do T20. It is so good. Transform 20. If you want Insanity, if you like Shaun T, go to do Insanity, Max 30. It's amazing. If you like lifting weights, Jen Francis got sick results with that. Got a bunch of girls who've done that. We've got 10 rounds that's about to come out. Bar, like go commit to a program. I know Tracy, I've mentioned your name a lot, but like she joined and she didn't think that she could complete an entire program. And then she finally completed MM 100. And you know what? She stuck to it. She went off for a little while and she's like, should I just come back to where I was? And I was like, yes, go back to where you were so that you can keep going and finally put that X on number 100. And like, that feels so freaking good. And she gets to share that with a prospect, with somebody whose life needs to be changed. Hey, you're too busy. I feel you. Oh, you think you're going to quit on yourself? I feel you. I felt the same way. And you know what? I actually did. And I decided to get back into it because of the community. Like, let me do this with you. That's why we start a program and we complete it so that we have that story, the credibility, the confidence, the journey, and all that. So follow your meal plan is number 3. And this isn't rocket science, but guys, You can do your fitness program and you can drink your shake. And if you're eating pizza every night, you're not going to get results. And nobody wants to follow a coach who's not getting results. Unless you went from like super depressed to like super happy. But chances are you're going to feel duplicitous, trying to be a health coach and like lying and like cheating in the back end. So just put that out there. Meal plan. You're also going to feel amazing. You're going to feel very accomplished. And when you come across, the whole reason of that first column, guys, is credibility and your own confidence. So that when you're starting to talk to somebody else, you know what you're talking about. And when they go, oh, I just, it's just expensive. If you've not done those things and gotten results, you're going to be like, oh yeah, it is kind of, I guess it is too expensive. If you've gotten results in those, you're going to be like, yeah, it costs some money. How important is your health to you? Those things work. If you knew 30 days from now that you'd get the same results that I've had by saying yes today, would you say yes? Would you say that was a good decision or a bad decision? And so you're just going to it with so much confidence because you've gotten your own results. Share your lifestyle and how you're using Beachbody products. So if you follow my Instagram, I'm not like, hey, get your Energize, do your Energize. Does anybody want to buy Energize? Like, I don't like just show a packet or like it's me, influencer in Positano, like with a sexy bikini, and I'm like, Energize is what I love. I use it, I shake it up, I make it fun, I cheers myself, I get really weird with it. I see Audra doing that too. She's like, dump a scoop, go, double scoop. So share about these products that you love. That's just part of it. So when I joined the business, I had no idea what I was doing. Literally no idea. I joined the New Coach Mentorship. I had so many questions. I didn't even know how to describe what Beachbody was. I think I've told this story before, but I think I was like 1 or 2 weeks into the New Coach Mentorship and I was so cocky or just whatever. I was just Sherry. And I'm like, excuse me, could one of the top coaches please explain how to describe Beachbody? Like, I just didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that this was the business and that these were the products and the programs, the nutrition and the fitness programs. Like, that was it. So I had to show up for those things and go all in on those. So sharing about your lifestyle and what you've decided to commit to is sharing your workout. It is sharing about the products. I've been trying to post pretty regularly about when I have my shake. Like, it's usually around 5 p.m. and I do like either the blender going or dumping the ingredients in. I make sure that I show I do collagen. It's not really advertising, but when somebody has a question about it, and they do, they're like, oh, what's your collagen? What's in that? Or like, what does that do for you? I'm like, have you seen my hair? Like, I don't know. It just make it weird. So when I'm sharing about that, people can then ask questions about it. So with that, let's jump over. Any questions on that? Confidence and it works. Yes. Can't wait for 10 rounds. Unicorn crack. I'm also dehydrated just right now. Okay, so let's move into the next one. If you are sharing about your lifestyle and how much you love these things, that's great. And they can be great products, but it doesn't really matter if you're not talking to anybody. So I liken it to my photography business. I would hear artists, and this is why they always say starving artist. I would hear artists all the time say, well, my work speaks for itself. It doesn't speak for itself if it's not talking to anyone. You have to talk to somebody, and you can have great work and great products and a great, I think of Lindsay dropping 50 pounds and like having this amazing transformation. But if you're not sharing that with an audience, then you're not going to gain traction. So you need to connect, you need to invite, you need to follow up. So the connection part is super fun. I was talking to Audra about this today, about how to get out of obscurity, how to go and find new people. We talk about Instagram and going and doing 531. If you've never heard of this, it's going to hashtags or even locations, like places that you love to go. Think of your, unicorn burp. Think of your favorite restaurant. Think of your favorite movie theater. Think of like something that makes you. If you're a bowler, go to the bowling alley, and like nobody's really doing that these days, but whatever. Go to your favorite restaurant, favorite brunch spot. Look at the hashtags or look at the places, the people who've tagged that place. Go in, look for the girls who are your tribe. It takes some time. Like you're going to go in there and look for your people, and then you're going to go into their post. You're going to leave them 5 likes. So find 5 pictures that you actually like that connect with you. And then go into 3 of those and leave comments, authentic comments that are 5 words, not just 5 emojis, and then send them a DM. And if they're private, you can still like go around that and send them a DM. We've talked about this before. I send a really simple I send a really simple one out to new girls. And I say, hi, I know this is a little random, but I stumbled across one of your pics. So naturally, I creeped your profile. Winky face. Gotta love Instagram. You were stunning and seem so fun. I just wanted to say hi. Love connecting with new babes on here. So no threat, like just kind of like, hey, what's up? I just creeped your profile. And that's coming on the heels of 8 notifications. So 5 likes, 3 comments, and then they get that DM. And it's like, well, this girl's either nuts, but I kind of like her energy, so I think I might write her back. And or they sometimes heart it. Here's the next step, taking it next level. I want everybody to try this week. Right after that, I send them a video. So if they write back, so I get a lot of these like, hey, thanks for the message. Always nice to get. It's always fun to create or connect with new people. That was her response. So then my next step, and you can see, my next step was a video. And I grabbed my phone and I was like, what's up? Hey, I'm just putting a face with a name. It's Sherry. Full disclosure, I'm a virtual health coach. Love to help women build a business around fitness, create a 6-figure income. But just letting you know, like, even if we never collaborate together, I'm just grateful. I love surrounding myself with positive women and totally believe that we are the sum of the women we surround ourselves with. So that's the video. And then I just, boom, send it. I don't think about it. And I just, whoop, gone. Okay. And I've recorded like a bunch of those. That's my follow-up to the DM. And you know what? I'm putting myself out there in such a massive way that like half of them are just, they just love it. And they're like, okay, that she's just being real and putting herself out there. I also like, hey, full disclosure, I'm a virtual health coach. Like, you know, we don't need to work together, but you're going to see it on my profile. Like, don't want anything phony or icky. And I just started that. So we'll see. I mean, people in my office do this all the time. So they always like send a text and then they do a selfie video. Hey, just putting a face with the name. And it gets a lot of traction. So to be continued on that. Let's say, what is use the SC? Is that the tracker, Sarah? Success Club, Beachbody, activity tracker. Yes. I've never seen it called the SCBAT. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Trace on it. All right, girl. I see you. So use a tracker. The Success Club tracker is excellent. Personally, I love this tracker, which I got from Sammy Glonick, her new coach mentorship or new coach guide. I just love the way that that one's kind of laid out for my stuff. But track your behavior so that you can see later what you're actually doing, because you're going to get to the end of the week, you're going to get to the end of the month, you're going to have a one-on-one with your coach, and you're going to be like, I'm trying to hit Success Club, I just can't hit it. And your coach will go back and be like, hey, what does your tracker look like? What are you doing? And you guys pay attention to this, because you're going to have a team very soon if you don't already, and your downline, like you're going to be holding them accountable, and you need to get them started on the tracker so that they're doing the same things. It's all about duplication. Always have a group to invite to. How many times have I said this before to my girls? Always have a group to invite to, whether it's a free group, whether it's a new coach mentorship, whether it's a challenge group. A lot of you guys are starting out, so it is a challenge group. So we're in February. It's February 9th. How many, raise your hand if you are running a challenge group right now. You're currently in the middle of a challenge group. Okay. All right. And I know my downline, we're doing a free group, which starts tomorrow, but started tonight, for the next 5 days, for the next 6 days. So now you're thinking about like, when is your March group? How many of you guys, raise your hand if you've already set the date for your March group and know what it's about? Okay, good. Okay, that's awesome. Good. How many of you guys plan to do 10 rounds with Joel Hottie Body Freeman? Drop in the chat if you know the date that goes live. Drop it in the chat. Tracy's like, dude, I'm all over Joel. March 16th. Is that when it goes live for coaches? I thought it was April 6th. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, Mary's on here. Sorry, I can't see everybody's faces. Let's go back to the screen. So you guys just want to be thinking about what's next, what's coming up. I'm trying to get this. All I can see is Sarah here. How do I show everybody? Hold on, guys. View options. Technical difficulties. So you always want to be inviting to the next thing. You always want to have a group to invite to. You're going to have people who want to join you, and you need to be organized on what's coming up next. So for me, it's March 9th. I have a group starting then, and it's February 9th. So I'm like, okay, I need to be thinking about that. And when am I going to invite? I'm going to get some people for my Success Club points at the end of this month. I'm going to help them out, get them started with Shakeology, get them into it on March 9th. And then that momentum for marketing this for the next 2 weeks is going to roll over into that first week of March and hopefully help me hit Success Club 5 by the 5th, which is always the goal. Okay, let's go to the next one. Initiate conversations and add followers. So this is the 531. This is going out and connecting with new people in your cold market to make them warm market. You can do this on Instagram, but I was also, and completing this thought, talking to Audra today, there are so many groups on Facebook. So exactly what everybody's saying, do on Instagram, you can do that on Facebook. So what are you into? So my example is Audra is a volleyball coach. She's been coaching for a long time. We actually played together back in the day. So like she could go on Facebook and look up any of the volleyball groups and join them, like volleyball coaches, high school volleyball coaches, volleyball training, and like go request access to those groups. And then once you're in those groups, go add value. Just go find people who are commenting and posting, like their stuff, comment on it. And then when they like you, they're going to send you a friend request. That's just like a natural, easy thing. And then you're not having to hop from the Instagram platform to the Facebook platform. I don't know if anybody's had any issues with that, but like I've got my Instagram community and then I've got my Facebook community. And it's really easy if it's all in Facebook, since our groups, most of us run them in Facebook. So there's a lot that can be done with groups on Facebook. Explore that, report back. I hit up the Weight Watchers group and got a response. Yes, like it's stuff like that. Like people who want help and just going and connecting on stuff that is authentically you, right? Like I'm going to go into one that's about maybe cat ladies, but maybe not. Me and Tracy will be in there with cat ladies and Sarah. So you just want to find groups that are about something that you like, that you authentically like. Okay, social media post with call to action. If you are not putting a call to action, I love social media. I love posting. I love showing up consistently. Sometimes we're just talking to our audience, but you really want to pull it all together at the end and ask them and invite them to something. So always have a call to action, always have an invite. I work for a guy who literally wrote the book on this, and he's like, there's always got to be a call to action. You've always got to give them, people need to be told what to do. We are decision averse as human beings, so we need to always be leading them forward. That's your goal as a coach, by the way. Everybody pay attention right now. Your absolute job as a coach is to move people forward. You're going to do that through fitness, nutrition, accountability, positive community, right? But our goal, our absolute job is to move them forward. So the same thing with a social media post is to take them from your story and move them forward to the next thing that's going to help them. Respond to likes and comments. Yep. Do that. As soon as there's a like or a comment, and this takes time and energy, but I have my notifications on. And as soon as there's a comment, you should respond within the first hour to get the algorithms and the science and the technology and all of that to like you on Instagram. Invite to a challenge group and coaching. Okay. How much? Let's drop in the, yes. Okay. April 6th. Exclusive window. Thanks, Tracy. That's awesome. Thank you. Drop in the comments for those of you guys who are posting, what percentage, Cassie did this on a big team call, and I'm really curious about our group. What percentage you're posting about fitness, what percentage you're posting about lifestyle, and what percentage you're posting about coaching. Drop that in the comments. Fitness, So we're just talking about your posts right now. Your stories are probably all of your life, but like, think about a percentage. Fitness, lifestyle, could be you with your animals, could be you like out just doing whatever. And then what percent are you talking about coaching? So Sarah said about 25% of each, along with adding fun and random things. That's awesome. Who else has got one in there? You guys are thinking about your numbers. I love that. We always want to be thinking about, we're always inviting to a challenge group. Challenge group is 3 weeks, unless you're doing a program specific, and then you're probably doing, like the 6-week or the 8-week program. Keep in mind that you always want to have a new group every month to invite to, because otherwise, how are you going to help 3 more people in the next month, right? So this is kind of the marketing calendar, and we can very easily go over this. I grabbed this from like Target, and I just kind of keep this. You can't see my screen, so I can't see what you guys see, but team call, new coach mentorship starts here. Got to go live there. Coach happy hour. And then if you look over on this side, you can see this. I have invite to coach sneak peek, guys challenge, new coach mentorship, March 9th, and then April 6th, 10 rounds. So like I have roughly the next 90 days. I mean, I did that like a couple weeks ago, but the next 90 days kind of out in front of me so that I know where I'm plugging people in, and I kind of know when I need to ramp up marketing. And we'll talk more about that. For everybody who's new, don't get overwhelmed just yet. Post probably most lifestyle, fitness, but try to add value and call to action with every post. Lifestyle 75%, opportunity 0, fitness 25. I haven't started posting about coaching yet. Yeah, girl. 30%, 15. Okay, good. That's awesome. And as you guys get into it more, that may change. Share your heart, share authentically about why you decided to coach. Share about your questions about it. Hey, I started coaching. I really love it. I really want to be successful with this. They don't need you. Here's the thing. If you're just starting out, your audience will see right through if you come out and you're like, I'm the coach and I'm the best. And but if you don't really believe it. So go out and be like, hey guys, I'm doing this thing. I love the accountability invite. Hey, will you come do it with me? Hey, best friend, I'm doing this coach thing. It's just super positive. I love it so far. We're getting in the best shape of our lives, mind and body. It's blown me away. Would you like to come do it with me? And you'd be surprised, the positive response. Okay, last part. I'm sweating right now. Whew. Need some makeup on. Follow-up. So the follow-up can be super, super fun. I think we start to talk to somebody, or we do that DM, and then we see that they saw it, and then we never reach out again because we're like, oh my gosh, they didn't want to join. It's like, well, no, they're probably busy just like you. And my coaches have all had to come to me and be like, hey, don't forget to do this. And I'm like, oh yeah. It wasn't that I was rejecting them or saying I didn't want to do it. It's just because I forgot. So go back in, grab your video. Guys, the video thing, you need to smile like you're on right before you pull it up, and click the video and just be like, what's up? Or whatever your personality is, give them the full dose of your personality. Just be like, I'm following up. Hey, would love to have you in my group. Is this the right time? Or send them a voice message, or send them a free recipe. The follow-up doesn't have to be, do you want to join my group? 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 And did you want to join my group? It could be extending a hand before you ask for a hand, free recipes. Hey, I'm doing this workout today. Hey, do you want to join and do it with me? And maybe just keep going until they say, hey, please stop reaching out to me. If that ever happens, please message me. I will send you a little gift. If you literally follow up so much that somebody's like, please don't contact me anymore, and they block you, just let me know, because I would like to shout you out for that. That is some relentless follow-up. So guys, recap. I know it's kind of long-winded, but be proof that the product works. This is a business, and the products and the programs, that is the business. So you would never start a Starbucks and not offer coffee. You just wouldn't do that. You wouldn't offer the coffee and never drink it. you're doing a business based on fitness. So do the programs, drink Shakeology, get results, connect with new people so that as you talk about how amazing these things are, more and more and more people can hear you share about that. And next, I hand it over to Sarah so I can stop blushing.
Girl, all that unicorn juice is making your blood pressure
Oh
like
my
rock.
God. Oh my God.
But just to kind of follow up with the follow-up remark, um, you guys, like, just to like put it lightly, like, don't get butthurt if someone blocks you. Just don't, because I used to all the time, and it did not do me any good. It just played with my emotions, and you don't have time in this business to let your emotions hold you back. Because that person, you probably don't even know them. So, Sherry, I wish I would have known that, because I would have gotten lots of gifts from you by now. But it's part of the process, you guys. So just embrace the process. You'll
It
find your
really
people
is.
amongst the blocks and the no's and all that stuff. So,
You
um,
know, let me just, so you said something that stuck with me, and I feel like I told it to one of my coaches the other day, and I said it to somebody else. If you're moving fast enough in a positive direction, you got to be, if you're running in this positive direction, people's opinions can't even catch you because you're running so fast in this positive direction. So like people blocking you, people being like, that's a scam, people just ignoring you. It's like, it doesn't even hit you because you're still just running toward this goal. So keep running.
yes. Oh my gosh. I had a girl who was going to join me as a coach. I was so excited. And then in the middle of the night, you guys, because my crew, my tribe, we're up at 11 o'clock talking. Mommy's up in the middle of the night. So that's when we talk. And she was like, this has been on my mind for 6 months. And she's like, I just can't be associated with people who drink. And I was like, bye, Felicia. Guess you're not my girl. And it hit me for a second, and I lived in my moment. And guess what? Moved on. So it's just going to happen. But yeah, she's right. If you are in a positive mindset, which I'm going to get into how to get into that, you're going to be golden. So committing to your business for 1 year, I cannot stress this, you guys, because the first year is a lot of trial and error. You cannot base the success of your business fully on that first year. Some people are crazy successful, and that might be you. Freaking kudos to you, girl. But that first year is so crucial. You have to give yourself enough time, because this is a real business. This isn't a pyramid scheme. Like, we're not getting rich quick. Like, it's not how it works. So you have to give yourself time for growth, for experimentation, and for just figuring out what works for you. So that 1 year, when I say that to girls, they're like, damn, like 1 year is a long time. It's going to fly. I look back, and it's been like three and a half years now. And I'm like, I don't even know how. But I look back at that first year, and I'm like, yes, I did go through some trials. I did have to figure out what worked for me and my tribe and my people and my clients. And you fall and you get back up, and you fall and you get back up. And the more you do that, the more you will grow, and the more success you will find, because successful people, they fall a lot, but they get back up, you guys. So 1 year, stick to it, and you will come back to Sherry or I and been like, you know what, you were right. Like, it's been 1 year, and like, I have grown so much, and like year 2, it's going to be big. I get excited about that because that was a big part of my journey, that first year. And then the next thing, so having a strong vision, having a rock solid why. So if you don't know what that is, you guys, if you don't know what fires you up to the point of like honestly feeling emotional, getting out of bed, at 4 or 5 or whatever it is in the morning, that thing that just lights you so on fire that there's just no way you would skip those things you need to do, your workout, those invites, those follow-ups. A big part of that for me when I first started was knowing that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That's what attracted me so much to Jamie, my mentor. And that's what attracts my people to me, is they're like, I'm pregnant right now, or I have a baby, and sending them off to daycare is the last thing that I want to do. And it breaks my heart. So that's a big part of my why for me. I help other women who aren't moms, but know your tribe and know what their whys are and their passions are too, and like figure out how you can connect to them. So that's a big part of my why, is I want to bring mommies all the freedom. I want them to be able to be home, or if they want to work still, but for me, I'm like, I want to bring you home, mama. Like, I want you to be able to never miss a first, to go to all the sports things, to go to all the gymnastics things, to be able to do whatever you want to do and have the freedom to work whenever you freaking want to work. It's so selfish of us to be afraid to share this, you guys, because it's just so damn amazing. So if you don't know your why, and if your why, if you have a why and you're like, well, it kind of gets me excited. Like I only push snooze like 5 times in the morning to get my workout in, or yeah, like I know I need to work later at night because I didn't work all day, but like this thing kind of makes me excited and I kind of want to make money. Like that's not, you guys, no, just no. Sit down when it's quiet. That's probably going to be early in the morning, probably at night, maybe on your lunch break. What gives you butterflies? Like what gives you goosebumps? What is going to make you freaking jump out of bed in the morning instead of pushing those 5 snoozes? That is your why. That is your drive. And if you don't have that, you're just not going to want to go in this business because I don't have another word. Like there's just, your why is just like your freaking rock solid foundation for this business. So if you don't have it or you're not sure how to find it, and you need to have a conversation with Sherry and I, because sometimes it's hard. It is. Sometimes it's hard to sit down and be like, well, like this is where I'm at in life, but these are some of the things that I kind of want, and be like, you know, we can help you guys walk through that and help you figure that out if you really feel like you're stuck. Because sometimes you do need to talk it out with somebody else. But it's crucial to know it 100%. And then the next thing, contributing to your challenge groups. Oh, I was not super great at this. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, this is a group for my girls. They need the accountability. They're going to show up. Like, I'm going to make so many cute graphics and they're just going to plug in. It's going to be great. Yeah, no, that's not really how it worked. If you don't show up, they're probably not going to show up and you're going to hear crickets and it's not going to be fun and it's going to feel not so good. It doesn't feel good when your girls aren't showing up. And again, it was trial and error for me. Something that has worked so incredibly well for my girls staying on track and jumping right in right away. So I think Cassie Biltz did a call on this. She did a totally separate group on Facebook, and I've been doing this for over the past year. I just keep adding girls and I let my girls add into there as well. It's a Prepped for Success group. So I was doing a prep group every single start of the new month because I have a continuous group that I do every month. And then I have an exclusive group for my new clients or my girls who want to keep investing in themselves. And I say, okay, I have my ongoing group. As long as you have BOD, girl, I'm going to have a new theme, like new recipes, like you're good to go. But I also have an exclusive group where I invite my girls who are already signed up and I say, you know, if you get a new bag of Shaco this month or the Performance Line, girl, you can get in. We're doing X, Y, and Z. But I make sure that they're in this group because I was doing a prep group every single month. And my girls, my OG girls were like, we know, we don't want to see this anymore. And it was almost annoying. And I was like, okay, so you could make it like units. Units are so great in Facebook groups. So you could go and make units so that they can just click units and plug into their prep week. I think that's great. I have a whole separate group because I don't even add them in to the boot camp until they have read through everything. So, and if any of you want to take a look, just shoot me a message on Facebook. I can add you into it if you want to take a peek, copy and paste, totally use it. Because that's what I did to Cassie. Don't reinvent the wheel. So it's like how to find BOD, how to find your workouts, cleaning out your fridge, meal prep, personal development. And they literally have to comment on everything. Like, what are you going to read? Or do you need help finding a book? You know, what meals do you struggle with? And like, it's all these little questions that lead up so that I can figure out how to help them the best when I go to talk to them, or what else can I add to my challenge group that's going to help them. But then the very last thing is, okay, now they have to either post in the group, which is totally closed. I don't let any guys in, so it's just females. I say, okay, you have to post your before pictures and weight and measurements. You can either post them or email them to me. That's totally fine. I'm not going to make someone put a half naked picture up if they're not comfortable. That's fine. That's not what it's there for. It's there to create that like intense, crazy, insane amount of accountability that my coach has my before pictures and my weight and my measurements. And she's going to check back in, you know, every week to see how I'm doing. And then she's going to say, okay, time for new progress pictures at the end of the month and weight and measurements. And I do not want those numbers to be the same. I want to push and be better. And so they have to complete, I think there's 7 units. It takes them less than like 20 minutes. So it's not like this grand crazy thing that's going to take them like an hour. I'm like, girl, 20 minutes max, and I'll add you right into the group. And so many girls have told me that they're like, that's what's kept me on track. Like, I knew you had my pictures and I knew you had my weight. And I was like, and that's what it's for. Like, it's not for me to ridicule you if you've only lost, this many amount of pounds or this many inches. Like, it's to keep you on track. Like, that's my job. If you're not getting results, a part of that is on me. Like, you need more like tools or recipe ideas, or you need me to check in twice a week instead of once a week, or whatever it is. They've told me that like having those pictures has been crazy, insane accountability. And I see it because I have those same girls continue to show up. And it's just, I've had less girls ghost. And it's been this super, super cool. You're always going to have girls that are going to start super strong and they're going to fall off, and you're going to message them every week. And you're going to see in that Facebook Messenger that they've ignored you every single time. I've had girls ignore me, you guys, for months on end. And then 5 months later, they're like, okay, life is really sucking. Like, I'm freaking depressed. I feel sluggish and fuzzy and foggy and I hate it. So like, when's your next group coming up? And like, they always say, always, thank you so much for messaging me. I was just really embarrassed and discouraged because I gave up on myself. And that's all it is, you guys. Half of the time, it's not you. Actually, 99% of the time, it's them. We're just doing our jobs by being there for them. So you guys, even when people ghost you, your clients message them, they invested in themselves. So I never stop investing in them. I mean, sending a simple message. How long does that take? Hey, how are you doing? How's your week going? Just wanted to check in with you again, or, say, hope you had a great weekend, or hope your Monday starts off great. Because then when they do come and look, they're like, damn, like she really has been there for me. Like, even when I ignored her, like that means so much to people, you guys. So, and what Sherry said earlier, depending on who your tribe is, my tribe is mommies, and I'm sure you have a lot of busy women in your tribe and your connections as well. People see messages all the time and then forget. I do it myself. I have to be very intentional and know that I'm going to sit down and work because I don't want to miss something. It still happens. I'm not perfect. None of us are expected to be, but people see them and then they're out and about, or they're on their lunch break and then they have to go back, and like there's so many things, or their kid threw up somewhere. You never know. So don't take that person seeing it and then, like she said, not saying anything freak you out, because it's totally normal and people are insanely busy just like us. Like, it's not as important to them as it is to us. So just know that. Recognizing achievements for your coaches. This is like my favorite thing, is recognition. My girls work so hard. I'm sure all of you guys work freaking hard. Like, we put time into this. We put energy and early mornings and late nights. Like, we put so much into this, and our girls deserve to be shouted out. So I'm actually going to unshare. I opened my, or wait, never mind. I'm not going to unshare. I'm just going to exit this if I can. How do I do this? Hang tight. I got to move you. 1 second. I think this. Yay. Sweet. Okay. So, I love Canva, but you guys, do not go into Canva. If you have not hit Success Club, do not touch it. Don't even type it into Google, because your number one job is Success Club and helping 3 people right now. But I wanted to just give you a few examples, like way up top, of things that I love to do for recognition. So when my girls used to do Coach Prep School, I said, just graduated from Coach Prep School. For my challenge groups, this one, these 2 right here, I used to do like, okay, top of the board was 6 workouts and 6 Shakos. And I used to shout those girls out every single week. And these were kind of at the bottom of my Canva, and I brought them up and I was like, you know what? My girls freaking loved that. Everyone wants to be shouted out for their hard work, because they're taking time out of their crazy days to better themselves. And what better feeling than your coach sees that and shouts her out. And maybe it's not in like a visual like this in the group. Excuse me. Maybe it's you sent them a message and you're like, girl, I see you. I see you getting up at freaking 4:45 a.m. I see you having sick kids. I see you working a full-time job, and like, you are showing up for yourself. And I just want to know, like, I just want you to know that you're a badass and that you're doing amazing. Sometimes it's just that you don't always have to make it a super public thing. I think it's important to do both, kind of switch it up, but people need to hear that. That's what makes them want to push. Because you as a coach, when, we're shouting you guys out and you're changing a life, or you signed up your first coach, or you sold your first challenge pack, or made a freaking bomb post, like, that feels good. Like, okay, I'm doing something right. I'm moving forward. Like I'm getting, that pat on the back or that, clap of the hands, and that feels good. And that's important. I still love that. That's my favorite thing. Like, honestly, money from Jamie doesn't motivate me. Like, I do like going to retreats and stuff, but honestly, when I see a picture of me or my name is up there, for me, I'm like, thanks, Jamie. Like that's how I feel. Like, it makes me so, that's me. And I love it. So there's all different ways to recognize people, but I just love Canva for this, you guys. After you have helped your first 3 people, like, get in here and play around. Like, I, introduce VIP members, girls that are halfway to Emerald, Emerald girls, new coaches. I do our Success Club board. Girls who have hit Success Club the previous month. This is my cover photo on my team page. Success starters. And when my girls hit Emerald, they earn our team tank top. So I had a little cover photo of them up for a while. I have more girls to add to that. But anyways, this is an amazing tool. Once you guys have hit your non-negotiables, for sure, play around with this a little bit and maybe just create 2 or 3. Like, just start small. Create something for your new coach. Create something for someone maybe who's, signed up their first customer. Like, keep it super simple. But I do think that visuals like this are really impactful and they make people feel crazy special. And I love Canva. So, okay, going back to this. Quick segue. I love visuals, and that kind of thing really makes me happy. And I think Canva is an amazing tool for everything. Facebook, cover photos, all that stuff. Okay, moving on to the next thing. So, helping your new coaches earn their first commission in 10 days. It's beyond freaking doable, you guys. You can hit Emerald in 24 hours. I tell all my girls, like, okay, do you have a husband? Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a best friend? Do you have a mom? Do you have a dad? Like, sign up your mom and dad. Be like, I'm excited about this. And those first people are the first people that, are going to want to naturally support you the most. And you guys, changing 3 lives, it's going to pay for your shake going a little bit more. That's not hard to do. You can do that in a week, 100%. You can do that in less than 7 days. And that's, Sherry and I's job is to help pave that way and show you guys that this is super doable, that Emerald is a choice. It is. When I heard that from Jamie the first time, I was like, excuse me? Like, it sounded really harsh. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know why you expect me to do this. And I don't even know what I'm doing. And she was like, girl, you're married and you have a mom, right? And I was like, yeah, I do actually. And I messaged my mom and she was like, yeah, she's like, that sounds freaking exciting. And she's like, of course I'm going to want to like support you. And she's like, what do I need to do? I was like, oh, okay. You cannot decide if someone's ready to support you or to join this, alongside you. So be brave. I just tell my girls that. I'm like, be brave. It's going to be nerve-wracking. It's going to feel really uncomfortable for a while, but it's like riding a bike without training wheels. Like, it becomes natural and it feels fun. And it's, I'm not going to say effortless, like just like coasting kind of, like it just feels natural. And it really does. Like, I love follow-ups and like in invites. Like, I love talking to my cold market. It's like, that's my home. I love my warm market, but now I'm like, my team's all by cold market. And I'm like, I've never even met you guys. I'm like, I love you. And all my clients are all over. And I just love it. You find a love for something that you continuously do and pour more time into, and it's just practice. But you guys, 10 days, you 100% can pay for your Shakeout this month in 10 days and earn a little bit more. It's totally possible. These vital behaviors are going to freaking get you there. So, keeping them accountable with using the Success Club business activity tracker. I think Sherry kind of touched on this. Yes, track things, you guys. Write down names. Highlight who is interested, ask them if they want to join you. If not, I love plugging people into Google Calendar because it shoots me a reminder, because I have no memory of anything that I need to do and I'm not going to trust my brain. And we're all busy people. So I think finding a system, it can be pen and paper for you if you have a list. I wish I had it up here. Oh, I do. I have the High Achievers Playbook. I love it because in the very back of it, it has like a, let me see if it's, my one I'm using right now is downstairs, but I have an older one in here. Let me see if it is. So it's like, I think they're having a sale right now too. It's your master prospect list, and it's literally like a book. This is like, I didn't use this one. My other one's full. It's downstairs. It's got like 5 pages. But you write down their name, and there's little check boxes for like email, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, like where you connected with them on. And there's like, I don't even know, probably like 30 pages, and they're all back to back. So it's like, when you have to sit down and work. And so in the High Achievers Playbook, what I do, sorry, this is like a little segue thingy. So I write down all the names, and then I highlight the names of people who respond, who, yeah, can you give me more information, or who say yes, and then maybe they back out or whatever. Anyone that says yes, maybe, information, their name goes in this book. And that way, when I have to sit down during a power hour, because my weakness was I did not keep track of anything. That's why I struggled so much my first year, was organization. If you guys don't get organized, it's going to get real frustrating. And you can pick whatever system you want. I don't think one's better than the other. You just have to do it. So when I sit down and work now, it's like, oh, prospect list, like, let's go. I can talk to 20 people right now because their names are right here. And I'm not going, I don't know, trying to like scramble and be like, oh, did I talk to her? Or how did I talk to her? I love flagging my Instagram messages. That's so amazing. I love that Instagram came up with that. So after I have a conversation, and again, if they're interested or want more information or any kind of piqued interest, I flag their name. And then when I sit down and do follow-ups, they're right there. I just go to your conversations. There's like that little bar at the top, the little oval, and there's like 3 lines with 3 little circles. Click on that. I click flagged, and there's hundreds. Like, to scroll to the bottom would take me a long time, but I've been doing that for a while. So it's so easy. And then as soon as someone signs up, I just unflag them, and then they're off that list. And then I go find more people to talk to and more people to flag. So organization and using those tracking systems, you guys, it's going to make this job, this business, like this freaking amazing opportunity, it's going to make it more fun, because you're taking this so much stress off of this by just being a little more organized. Okay. So I'm going to pop over. I can't see I don't even think, is my mouse working? I think it died. Perfect. Wait, yep, it did. So I'm going to pop over to the personal development. If you guys have questions about anything I just talked about, I will answer them at the end. I love personal development, you guys. I thought it was like such a BS piece of junk. I'm just putting it lightly, honestly. I was like, yeah, Jamie, like, I don't want to read these stupid books. Like, I'm a bookworm, but not those kind of books. I was like, yeah, I'm going to read my Jodi Picoult books at night before I go to bed still. Thanks. And I struggled. I struggled really hard. And even in these past couple weeks, I've talked about it all over my social media. I was struggling, and I definitely let PD take a back seat for like a week and a half. And I was like, why am I so low? Like, and I don't really know why it didn't come to mind, but I was just like, why am I feeling so crappy right now? Like, I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling frazzled in my business. Like, I don't feel just focused. I'm like, what in the F? And I was like, well, maybe because you haven't been reading this the very first thing you do in the morning. You've been getting on your phone, looking at Facebook, looking at Instagram. And you guys, I know everyone works different hours and things like that. And so a lot of you do plug into your business in the morning, but it's 10 minutes, like 10 to 15 minutes. Like, don't tell me you can't do that while you're drinking your pre-workout, and 15 minutes is so easy. That's not a lot of time. Or an audiobook. You don't have to sit there with a book in your hand. Okay, plug in your phone and put your phone on your counter or under your armpit, pull on your pants. I mean, like, you can be creative. You can get that time in, and it's everything. And I have a big old stack of books I'm going to share because I love them. I could share so many more, but this call would go forever. So I try to categorize them in terms of like spiritual, personal, and then spiritual, personal, and like business. I have a lot of really great business ones. So I'm not going to take too long on each of them. I just want to show you the ones that I've personally loved the most. I think I'm going to exit out of the screen actually, so I can give you guys a better look-see. I'll stop sharing. I'll remember the last 2 points. Okay. Oh wait, no, come on now. Okay. So my very first one is, oh, that didn't work. I'm trying to change to speaker view. I don't know if it'll show up differently on the recording, whatever. So 100 Days to Brave. I've read this twice, and what I love about it is it's really short. Like, it's a page to 2 pages, and this is definitely like a more spiritual one, like a little mini devotional. But I first read this when I did MM100 with my group because it was 100 days. So it kind of like aligned perfectly, and I love it. She also has a podcast, Annie F. Downs. I forget what the title is, but so if you don't have time to read this, she has a really great podcast. I love this book. This is my very first PD book. You Are a Badass. And if anyone hasn't read it, I always tell them to read this first because like the whole book is straight up highlighted. She's just fire. I'm a 7, so she's all like joy and energy. And I'm like, yes, girl, I feel you. And like every page is just so positive, and it was the best way to start my day. And I just loved it, especially as a new coach. When you are going through a lot of trial and error and sometimes down days and hard days, like there are going to be really hard days, and that's how any business works. This book like picked me up instantly, and I kind of want to read it again. It's so good. Another spiritual one, this is called Crash the Chatterbox by Stephen Furtick. I'm hearing God's voice above all others. And I loved this book. Like it just kind of helped me take a step back with all the things that are going on in my brain, because my brain does get crazy. And I don't know, I really loved this book. It just kind of slowed things down for me for a few minutes each morning, and I really, really loved it. You guys know this book, Girl Wash Phase. Freaking Rachel Hollis is thebomb.com. Loved, loved, loved this book. Okay, business books. Eat That Frog. Love this book. Do That Hard Thing, the thing you do not want to do, the invites, the follow-ups. Do that thing you don't want to do first, and then it's done. And then you can go do all the fun things that are easy for you, because that hard thing that you're not doing, it's probably why you're not seeing success in this business. So love it. And it's like a super fast book too, which is always really a good feeling when you're like, yes, I finished it and I learned so much. The Happiness Advantage, how a positive brain fuels success in work and life. And I think Samantha E. Yoha, one of Jamie's coaches, shared this. She saw this book at a leadership conference and people raved about it. And it is so incredibly good. So love this one. The first year I went to Summit, they talked about this book, Grit. Yes, this is a longer one. It is so worth the freaking read. I love this book. So good. This one, I think I read this my first year. It's by John C. Maxwell. It's the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I learned so much. I don't know how to explain this book. Like, it's not like a fun read, but it really pushed me into leadership. And that's what you have to push yourself into in this business, because building a team requires a lot of leadership. And I just loved really learning how to grow as a leader. This book was amazeballs. 5-second rule. You guys, this is what gets me out of bed in the morning. Like, before I read this book, I was the snooze cruise like 10 times, like so bad. But just doing anything in life, like 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go live on your Facebook, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hop out of bed, all the things. 10X rule. Love this book. I think I've read it like at least 4 times, and you need to just read it. Grant Cardone, golden, love it. The Road Back to You. This is great for me with communicating to my coaches, communicating to my clients, because I didn't know what Enneagram was. And I was like, oh, I don't have time to take that dumb test. It's kind of like reading personal development. I was like, I don't care what number I am. Like, what does it matter? And even my husband has said, like, I've watched you grow so much since you told me about this. And that's not something my husband like always, like, he really says what he means. And I was like, really? He goes like, yeah, you've grown so much. And just being able to communicate with people through Instagram, because a lot of people know that. I'm like, oh, what Enneagram type are you? And they're like 3. And I'm like, oh girl. And like, I know what that is. And I know their weaknesses or like things they're really good at. So it's another really cool way to connect on a deeper level with your coaches and with your prospects. All right. And the last one, I just read this one super recently. There's no plan B for your A game. Be the best in the world at what you do, by Bo Bison. You guys, or Eason. Wow. This book, I love it. I love this book. He's very straight to the point. He freaking like shoots the arrow at the target. Like, if you want to be great at what you're doing, like, stop wasting your time and do the things you need to do to be the freaking best. Like, you're not going to create any kind of plan B, because this is your only option. This is your road. So those are my favorites. I can make a list and post them too if that was really fast. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I didn't understand the value of personal development for so long. I underestimated it incredibly. And it was the one thing that truly, especially this past year, like I said, when I ended in the negative the year before, and I was like, this year is not going to be the same. This is not going to happen. And I'm like, well, how am I going to do this? And I talked to Steve, and Steve was like, you need to dive into those vitals. He's like, it's those 15-star diamonds, those millionaires, the people that are freaking living their life of mass freedom. He's like, they're not sucking down magic pills or like there's no secret formula that they're using. He's like, they're doing those things that unsuccessful people don't want to freaking do. And so I did that this past year and coming out on top, thousands of dollars, and going to my tax guy and he was like, okay, I see what you're doing here. And I was like, that's all I did, you guys. I know that's all that Sherry's doing too. I know she's like shared her success. I see you on Instagram. Like, I know you shared like your income. And I think that's so powerful. That's not something you guys have to do. Don't ever feel like you have to do that. But I think it can, like, once you get into this business a little bit and you're experiencing growth, I think it can be a really powerful thing to share with people. That's why I shared it with my team yesterday. And I was like, I don't know if I should share this, but I was like, no, like, I'm freaking out about this. Like, I want them to know, like, this is possible. Like, so much growth can happen in 1 year if you're willing to work crazy hard for it and do the crap that's not always fun and not always sexy and not easy, and just commit to it. So yeah. Do you have anything, or here, I'll open it up. I need to open up the chat. I haven't even looked, but Sherry, if you want to add anything.
I'm dying right now. Like, I think that you should have a call I think you should run a team call for every top coach in the network on personal development. And like, you blew through that list with such authority. And like, you could tell that each book was an experience for you, or a couple times through it. And like, your synopsis of each book was like a personal journey. Like, anybody else really touched by the way she talked about personal development? And I was going to say at the beginning of this call, I was like, I almost wanted you to start with that, because when I joined coaching, my mind wasn't okay. And I told somebody today, my body is in a different shape. It's actually in worse physical shape than I've been in better physical shape in my life, but I'm actually in better shape because now this is okay. And I stop shaming myself on everything else. And even when the thoughts start to creep in, I've been in personal development. It's a commitment every day. It's at least an hour every day. Like, I just can't get enough of it because I want to grow so much, and I can't grow past my brain. Like, I've got to keep expanding my mind to make room for where I want to go. And you talking about personal development, like, I would say it's one of the key vital behaviors so that you can move forward. Yes, you need to be doing your workout. Yes, you need to be doing drinking Shakeology. You need to be growing your mind to become the girl that your girls are looking for. Fire. So anyway, I want you to do it. Team, I like go through the list again.
Well, my vision, the national wake up call. So fingers crossed. I'm going to start putting that out there into the universe. It's on my list.
Oh yeah. I'll just send a DM to Carl right now. Just let me
Perfect. Thanks,
send that over. Did you know that the lawyer at my office grew up with Carl? It's kind of funny.
Really? Oh my gosh. Small world.
But she's a coach on my team. So,
did anyone have any questions?
Yeah, any questions?
You guys are like on fire in the chat. I love it. I love seeing that.
Yeah, so I love audiobooks. I listen to them when I'm putting on my makeup, doing my hair in the morning, walking, or like doing any kind of physical activity. Not usually during my workout, but some other times.
No, I love PDC, and I'm like, I need a book in my hand. I'm a highlighter and book. But yeah, if you need to listen to it, you guys freaking listen to it in your car. Like, do what you got to do.
Totally.
I have a suggestion for you too, a book for you guys to add. This one was written by a Navy SEAL. It's called Leadership Strategy and Tactics. And of course, you guys know I'm big into like CIA thrillers and things of that nature, military thrillers and stuff. But this guy talks about making hard decisions as a leader. And if there's one thing I've found in business, I may be a new coach, but I've been doing business stuff for more than 20 years. To be a real leader, you got to be able to make choices and make them fast, and to be able to analyze them a little bit faster, etc. And he's got some really awesome examples in this book. And if you're talking about getting serious with the coaching and stuff, this is definitely a book to add to that list.
Love that.
No, I do love that. I've had to do some of those things, and I've definitely taken a long time. And my husband's like, no, like, draw the line. I'm like, oh. So no, that's awesome. I'm going to add that to my list. Thank you for sharing.
I need to add that to my list. And everybody's at a different stage, right? Like, you got people who are coming in and you are like, oh my gosh, I'm learning all the things. I need to just do a workout. I just need to like do Shakeology for 1 month straight or 90 days straight. There are people who are like, oh my gosh, I have my first working coach. Like, I'm leading a team. And then there's like the marketing side where you want to always put out there, like, I'm this team, like we're moving, we're big, we're growing. But I love the Navy SEAL, like the CIA side of that, because they got their shit together. All right. Any questions? Says the girl on. Oh, yeah. Come on.
I'm reading something that Tracy wrote. She said, I'm in the spiral that I feel like I'm failing or have failed, so I can't get back up or out of this hole, but I'm still showing up and not giving up. And guess what? You're going to have times like that. I literally had a week and a half of that. And I was just like, sometimes you're going to have that. What am I doing? Like, this is hard. And like, it's okay, you guys. Like, it's okay. Take a step back and live in those emotions for maybe not 2 seconds, 2 minutes. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to have feelings, but don't let those feelings fester so long that you stop showing up. You don't show up for a day. You don't show up for 2 days. Like, present that to your audience. I do it all the time. I'm like, I woke up in a crap mood today, but guess what? Working out is going to change that. It does every time. I can go into it. I can do jumping jacks. I'm like, oh, I hate this. Like, I'm such a bad mood. And by the end of this, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm so sweaty. And like, I can do anything. And like, so just be honest and share that. Like, your community is not expecting you to be like this robot. I am Coach Sarah. Welcome. Like, unicorn juice. Life's perfect. Like, no, it's just no one even believes that crap. So like, just be you, but share how you're feeling, but then present a solution. Like, this is how I'm feeling. I'm a real person, but like, this is what I'm going to do. In a couple hours, I'm going to come back different. You're going to see. So keep going, girl. Got this.
Sarah, I thought of this the other day. Oh, sorry, my internet is can you guys hear me? It froze. Perfection is about you. Perfection is about impressing other people. Progress, transformation, that's about empowering other people. So if you're afraid to start coaching, or you're afraid to put yourself out there because you're afraid of what people will think, that's very selfish. That's very self-centered. And you're expecting a lot of perfection, and you're just like, I need to get everything perfect before I share it. Well, that's all about you. But sharing the process and sharing the progress and the transformation that's coming, that's happening, that's about empowering the people around you, because they're not perfect and they would never want to join somebody who is perfect. They want to see what they can do and what the potential is alongside of you. Something that's on my heart recently. Impressing versus empowering.
Mm-hmm.
I think people respond more sometimes to your realness, even when, if it's ugly. Yes.
100%.
Oh, I love that. I've gotten a lot of responses on that, especially if I'm sassy. Mm-hmm. Or down. If you just admit it, like, hey, I'm having a down moment, but I have these things in place that I know are really good for me, and I'm going to show up anyway. Like, that's what I love. Like, I'm going in this direction. All of the things are attacking my brain today. Audrey talks about anxiety and like, I don't want to go out. There's this going on in my head. Like, I have that stuff too. And if you can put your phone up and talk to your audience and just share authentically about it and what you're doing to get past it. Or if you're in the moment and you're like, I know what I should do, and I can't bring myself to do it right now. And share about that, because you know what you're doing? You're offering the opportunity for your audience to come around you and coach you. And guess what happens when they take the activity to coach you? Then they think, oh, maybe I could coach. So like, don't be afraid to offer up your own vulnerability and your struggles so that other people can come around you and lift you up.
And they will. It's like the coolest feeling ever.
So
I'm
fun.
like, when I tell people like I have a tribe in my community, like not just like the girls who signed up with me, like when I have a crap day, like so many women are like, I'm there too today, girl. Like, we got this. Like, someone who's not even signed up with me. And I'm like, that's a part of what we do, like why we do to you guys. So like, we need a community just as much as like our people need a community. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Probably we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. You guys are rock stars for being on here. This shows us who's making their business a priority, who's serious. We're all busy. We all have crazy schedules. I'm going to jump right back into an edit after this and work until 11, but just really honored and proud of everybody who showed up.
Mm-hmm. Me too. You guys are awesome. Okay. Well, then I'll wrap it up. You guys have an amazing rest of your night. freaking either have a good rest or have a good work sesh, and have a great Monday. Bye.